This is part two of lecture one about Michael Sandel's book, Justice. Here, we're going to discuss price gouging, and we will discuss arguments in defense and in objection to price gouging. Our discussion will be on the basis of values of welfare and freedom, and those are the dominant values by means of which our moral reasoning operates. Let us start with price gouging. That term refers to a sudden raising of prices by a business on the products they sell due to some extraordinary event that forces consumers to buy the products at much higher prices than they normally would. For example, we are thinking of price gouging right before, during, or after a hurricane. Businesses have been known to quadruple prices of water, ice, generators, hotel renters, etc. In price gouging, the price increase is not due to rising costs of these products for the business owners, cost of production. The business owner raises the prices simply because they can, even if they were doing reasonably well without raising the prices. Moral outrage quickly arises in response. Price gouging business is not seeking compensation for providing a service, but is simply taking advantage of misfortune in the vulnerable people's lives. However, if we look at price gouging closely, we will see that there are serious arguments on both sides of the issue. We must understand, consider, and learn from all of these arguments. First, let us hear from those who are for price gouging. They will say two sorts of things in an attempt to make a rational moral appeal. One, price gouging maximizes welfare in society. It does so by minimizing waste. Those who pay higher prices for water, ice, etc., are less likely to buy more than they need, thus leaving these needed products for those who need them. And it sends a signal to producers to quickly produce more of the demanded good as well, since there are higher profits for the producers to make. Ultimately, the defense of price gouging as a market mechanism is a defense of a rather unfettered free market. And the defenders of the free market argue that it increases welfare in society by allowing money incentives to motivate people to work extra hard to produce the goods that people demand. Two, in defense of price gouging. Price gouging respects each person's freedom. Sellers are free to set any prices they choose, and consumers are free to purchase or not to purchase any good. Like the last defense, this defense is also a part of the broader defense of the free market. On the ground, the free market respects each person's freedom to sell and buy whatever and however they want. So the previous defense was on the basis of welfare, while this defense is on the basis of freedom. From this defense of price gouging, we learn that freedom and welfare are the dominant values in moral reasoning that everyone accepts uncontroversially. If you appeal to these values of either welfare or freedom, and your argument is a successful one, you've got a substantive moral position that people recognize, at least in the modern world. Appeal to these values is objective moral reasoning. Let us now hear from those who argue that price gouging is immoral. Insofar as their reasoning is objective, they will make an appeal to the same moral values, welfare and freedom. 1. The first argument against price gouging. Price gouging does not maximize welfare in society. The increase in dissatisfaction and suffering of consumers who must pay higher prices is great. It is greater than the following two together that we've discussed previously. The increase in benefits to producers from higher profits, and the increase in benefits to future consumers from the increased production. Second argument, as you may guess, is going to be about freedom. Price gouging does not respect freedom of each person. Price gouging works because consumers are in a, however temporary, situation in which they have no other options but to buy the products at the increased prices. These consumers are not acting voluntarily. Yes, no one is holding a gun to their heads to purchase at higher prices, but if they don't have any other options in order to live, what kind of freedom is that?